No one is talking about this. Even doctors are not paying close attention to it. But the rate of infertility and gynecological issues in our society amongst women is on the rise. Every day you go to hospitals, you go to pharmacies, you go to different places, you see women who are struggling with one problem or the other, gynecological issues. Problems like fibroids is on the rise, endometriosis is on the rise, PCOS is on the rise, ovarian cyst is on the rise, fertility challenges is on the rise, hormonal imbalances, that one is so rampant. Yet no one is asking a question, why is this thing on the rise today? Why is it getting worse? Why is it increasing today more than it has always done before? Now I know that doctors are trying, hospitals are doing their best, but my problem is that all of them are focusing on treatment and very few people are asking themselves what is actually causing this thing in the first place. What are those things that lead to this problem so that I can prevent it from happening to me? And that is why a lot of people do not pay attention to these things and they have not been able to identify what is actually leading to these things. And that's why this video is very important. You need to watch this video to the end because I'm about to review 5 commonly ignored mistakes that a lot of women are making every day that is leading to the high rise of infertility and gynecological issues. At the end of these videos, you'll be able to identify 1, 2, or 3 mistakes out of these 5 that you're making, which you need to start preventing right now so that you will not be a victim of infertility or any other gynecological issues. Now, before we get into it, my name is Kingsley Okoro and I'm a senior consultant with KD Healthcare Industry. Over the years, I have been passionate about natural health care, which is why I talk about nutrition, I talk about natural medicines, I talk about preventive approaches to health rather than treatment or symptom management. And in this channel, I do a lot of talking about those things. If you're interested in living a healthy life without always depending on synthetic drugs, this is the channel you need to be subscribed to. So hit the subscribe button to be a part of my community. Turn on the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you'll be notified that another video has dropped so that you can come and learn how to sustain your health and prevent diseases. So in that case, let's get down into my 5 commonly ignored mistakes that women are making that is contributing to the high level of infertility and gynecological issues. Mistake number 1 is that a lot of women ignore their reproductive health completely until a problem arises. This is one thing I have seen out of 9 out of every 10 women that I have seen today are doing this. They are making these mistakes. They ignore their reproductive health and they continue to live their life as if nothing is happening simply because they are not having any symptoms or simply because they are not currently looking for a baby. And this is one big mistake that I do not want you to continue to make. Your reproductive health needs your attention, even if you are not yet married or even if you are not yet interested in having a baby or even if you are not having any symptom at all. Your reproductive health requires your attention. So that means that at least twice every year, especially if you're sexually active, at least twice every year you need to go for screening, you need to go for medical checkups, to take a look at your pelvic region, to take a look at your hormones, to take a look at your health, to know if you are still in the right standing or if there's a problem that is about or trying to occur. Because the best approach to health is preventive approach. If you're waiting for a problem to arise, if you're waiting to start seeing symptoms like pelvic inflammatory disease or vaginal discharge or fibroid or endometriosis, that means that the damage has already been done. Before it started giving you signs and symptoms, a lot of damage has already been done. And then when you go to the hospital, what they will now start doing is to look for a way to manage the problem. Do you now see why a lot of women struggle with infertility? Because they wait for the problem to arise and then they go to hospitals, and what doctors do is that they try to help them manage the condition. Because what you hear is that a lot of these problems are not medically curable. So they will continue to put you on treatments to manage the condition, looking for a way to help you conceive, but the damage has already been done. So I am telling you right now, if you are yet to conceive or you're currently not looking for a baby or you're not feeling any condition right now in your reproductive area, that is not a reason for you to ignore your reproductive health. Always go for medical screening. If you're sexually active, like I said before, Twice every year, make sure you go for medical checkup. And if you're not sexually active, at least once every year, go for medical checkup, a proper medical checkup, to make sure that you are not at risk of having any health issues at all. Mistake number two that a lot of women are making is that they ignore irregular menstrual cycles. A lot of women have irregular menstrual periods and they still live their normal life thinking that it's normal. Why? Because they are not currently looking for a baby, or because they are not having any issues. They think it's a normal way of life. But I'm here to tell you that irregular period is a sign of something. It's something you need to pay attention to. Painful menstruation, irregular menstruation, those are pointing to something that you need to pay attention. Those things are not normal. Or even heavy flow, because a lot of women experience heavy flow and they don't know that that is not normal. Most of the times heavy flow is as a result of either endometriosis or even fibroid. So the problem is that if you keep ignoring it and waiting until you start looking for a baby, at that point it may have become too late, and this may have become a bigger problem that will be difficult to solve. That is why I encourage you, always go for medical checkup. Don't keep claiming that it's a normal thing for you. Don't keep claiming that it runs in your family. There is nothing wrong with you paying attention to that cycle. Even if it runs in your family, be the person that breaks that cycle, because I'm telling you that it is not normal. Be the person that breaks that cycle. Just because your mom had irregular period and still got pregnant and had you, does not mean that it is normal. It could get to your point and it becomes a problem that you will need to be running up and down. So do not ignore irregularities in your menstrual cycle. Pay attention to it. Your menstrual cycle is like your monthly report card. It is the report card telling you the condition of your reproductive health. Pay attention to it. Look for answers. Look for solutions. If your menstrual cycle comes this month and it skips, or you feel a lot of cramps or pains during your menstrual period, or you experience heavy menstrual period, please go for proper medical checkup to know if there is a problem that you need to pay attention to. That's mistake number two a lot of women are made. Do not keep making this mistake. The number three mistake is that a lot of women today practice unsafe sexual habits. A lot of them have unsafe sexual practices. Practices like having unprotected sex. A lot of women are having unprotected sex as if they have a second life somewhere. My dear, I need to tell you that that is a very risky way to live your life, okay? Multiple sex partners is another problem that a lot of women are playing around with. So you go about sleeping with different sex partners, and almost all of them, you're sleeping with them without any form of protection. You are not aware that these are the things that causes sexually transmitted infections. These are the things that causes pelvic inflammatory disease. These are the things that can damage your reproductive organs, your uterus, your fallopian tubes, your ovaries. You can contract infections that can cause major damage that for the rest of your life you will not be able to conceive, or for the rest of your life you'll be going for medical treatment. You need to take your health seriously. Stop practicing unsafe sexual habits, okay? Practice safe sex. If you cannot abstain, practice safe sex and endeavor to maintain only one sexual partner. And another thing you need to know is that the fact that you're having one sex partner does not mean, or does not always mean, that your sex partner has only you. Most of the time I have encountered a lot of women, they are having only one sex partner. In fact, a lot of them are even married, and the only person they have in their life is their husband. But at the end of the day, they still contract sexually transmitted infection. Why? Because their husband is not faithful to them. Their husband is having unprotected sex with another woman or other women out there. And at the end of the day, they get an infection and they come and give to this woman. So what I'm trying to say is that, first of all, make sure you're not having multiple sex partners. And again, make sure that your partner is not also having multiple sex partners. Stop ignoring this thing. This is your health and it is your life, and it is also your fertility that is on the line. Okay, so do all you can to protect your reproductive system from multiple sex partners, from the risk of infection, pelvic inflammatory disease, or any form of infection or disease that can damage your reproductive health. Mistake number 4 is over-reliance on birth control pills. A lot of women use birth control pills for a long period. Yes, in fact, today I see teenagers, I see young women who are not yet married, but they are playing with birth control pills a lot. They take it like it's candy. They have sex, they take it to prevent pregnancy, and they think it's normal. Please, if you are a young woman or you're a woman who has the girl child, pay close attention to them, because this thing alone can cause infertility for the rest of their life, because this is the number one thing that is damaging the endocrine system and disrupting their hormones. This is number one reason you have a high rate of hormonal imbalances among women today. So a lot of women are battling with hormonal imbalances, and that is why they cannot get pregnant. The reason is because when they were younger or before now, they have been taking birth control pills thinking it's a normal way of life. So they have unprotected cells, they take birth control pills so they don't get pregnant. And then they continue like that. By the time they are now ready to start having children, they are no longer having a balanced hormone. Those period of using birth control pills has contributed to hormonal imbalance, and at the moment they can no longer conceive. So if you're still using this thing, please pay attention to what you're doing. Unless it is prescribed by a medical doctor, a professional, for a particular reason, stay away from birth control pills. Those things can disrupt your hormones. Mistake number 5 is careless lifestyle and dieting. This is the last mistake I'm going to be talking about right now. Careless lifestyle and dieting. This one is highly underestimated, and it is actually rampant. Alright, a lot of women are busy consuming excess sugar, consuming processed food, consuming junk food, and living under constant stress. And they don't know that these things contribute to weakening their ovulation. It contributes to reducing the egg quality in their ovaries, and it's also contributing to hormonal imbalances as well. So if you are serious about your fertility, if you're serious about living a healthy life and having healthy babies whenever you're ready to start having them, I want to encourage you to pay attention to what you eat. What you eat contributes a lot to whether you'll be fertile or not, to whether you'll be healthy or not. Another thing I want to talk about is obesity. A lot of women are overweight, and they don't know that being overweight is a strong enemy to their fertility. They are ignoring it, and they are taking it lightly. But I need to tell you right now, being overweight is not healthy for you. Okay, the same thing as being highly underweight. A lot of women are too skinny, they are grossly underweight, and they do not know that being underweight also can contribute to disrupting their fertility. So you need to avoid anything that will make you to be overweight or to be underweight. Avoid excessive stress. Stress is one thing that can trigger hormonal imbalances and make it difficult for a woman to conceive whenever she's ready to start having a baby. Another thing you need to avoid is smoking. You need to avoid alcohol. You need to avoid skipping your night sleep, because a lot of women have a habit of staying awake for too long in the night, either watching movies or chatting or scrolling through their phones. If you're having problem with sleeping, find solution to it, because skipping your night sleep, I'm not talking about day sleep, I don't care how long you can sleep in the day, it cannot make up for the nights that you do not sleep. Your night sleep is when your body resets itself. The night sleep is when your body has a chance to rebuild itself, to balance itself, so that you can continue to live a healthy life. So do not skip your night sleep. Your reproductive system will struggle if you have a habit of not sleeping at night. Alright, so the solution to this is simple. Eat clean and exercise. Eat clean, exercise moderately. Do not over exercise. Exercise moderately, and try to reduce stress a lot. Get enough sleep at night, and you will have a healthy lifestyle, you will have a healthy reproductive system, and whenever you are ready to start having a baby, it's going to be a lot easier for you. So that's it. I've mentioned all the 5 mistakes that women are making that is contributing to a high rate of infertility. Firstly, I talked about ignoring your reproductive health. Stop ignoring your reproductive health. Go for regular screening to make sure that you are in a healthy state. Another thing I talked about is ignoring menstrual irregularities. If you're experiencing any form of irregularity in your menstrual health, probably it's irregular menstruation or painful menstruation or heavy menstrual flows, please pay attention to it. It is not normal. Go for proper screening to know why you're experiencing that. Another thing I mentioned is unsafe sexual practices. This one is very, very serious. because infection is one thing that can make life hell for you, especially when it comes to fertility and having a children. Infection can make it impossible for you. So practice safe sex. No unprotected sex except you're having it with your partner, and make sure that you or your partner are not keeping multiple sex partners, because that is going to expose you to infection that can damage your reproductive system. And then I also talked about birth control pills. If you can avoid them completely, please avoid them. If you cannot avoid them for a particular reason, make sure you're taking it under proper medical supervision. Make sure it is prescribed by a professional for a very important reason. But if not, please avoid them, because these pills disrupt your hormone and they cause hormonal imbalances. And when your hormones are not balanced, it will be difficult for you to have children. And then finally, I talked about your lifestyle and your diet. Eating junk foods, alcohol, stress, poor sleep quality, those things are going to cause hormonal imbalance, and they're going to help, and they're going to disrupt your egg quality. You're going to be having poor egg quality. Also manage your health, your weight as well. If you're overweight, please consider losing weight. Losing weight is not as difficult as you think it is. You can actually lose weight with the proper guidance. Okay, sleep very well at night and wake up stronger. It will help your body to stay healthy. So in conclusion, all of these things I've talked about points only to 3 things. Infertility is preventable. You don't have to be a victim. Even if somebody in your family has struggled with it, it does not mean that you too have to struggle with infertility as well. It is very preventable once you pay attention to your health and know the things to avoid and to correct. Pay attention early. Do not wait for problems to arise before you start paying attention to your reproductive health, because prevention will always be easier, safer, and cheaper than cure. Okay, prevention is always better than cure. So thank you for watching this video to the end. If you're still here and you got value from this video, please like this video and leave a comment below telling me what stood out for you. If you have any question, feel free to drop it below and I'll be here to answer you. And then if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, because I drop videos like this every other day, so that you not miss out on what I'm going to talk about in my next video. And mind you, it is going to be something a lot more important than what we did today. So subscribe to my channel. I remain Kingsley Okoro till I see you again. Bye.